Right then, it's Saturday. I've just uploaded one video and this is my second rant of the day. Yeah, I stopped at Lidl's to get some food. I've got a lot to do this weekend actually, and it's already like 1 o'clock. Anyway, I thought of a job that I could do, and it's possibly because I'm a moany old cunt that's spent long hours in lots of different workshops, and I've worked for the worst, and now I can say I work for the best, yeah, or nearly the best. I'm not talking about Mercedes-Benz here, I'm talking about DAF, yeah. And yeah, I've come to the conclusion like what I should really be doing is one of those spy jobs, you know, one of these consultants that goes into a place, tells them what's wrong, so they can then pay me a lot of money to rectify it, yeah, because I do feel and I know when there are inefficiencies happening, yeah. One of those, and the British knew this when they bombed the Germans in the Second World War, if you don't get your parts, you can't get your vehicles working. So the British went and bombed a load of factories, didn't they, to stop the wheel bearing production on their trucks and tanks, yeah. Now, I think actually the Germans overcomplicated the tanks, that fucked them up as well. But it's the same as having your stores with inexperienced people that don't know what they're doing, or don't even know the components of a vehicle, or ones that don't give a fuck. Yeah, you know this, don't you? Some don't give a fuck, and I know this is motivation. They've probably been overloaded with work, they just don't care after a while, and they get into that attitude which spreads over to everybody else. Now, in a workshop you can either do one or two things. If you're a technician, you then learn to survive by bypassing the storesman, finding where the bits are in the stores and getting them yourself and booking them out. And that's one way of going it. That means you're not getting paid for that, they're getting paid for supplying you stuff and ordering you stuff. I know some fitters, it don't help when they say they want pads and discs when really they need hub seals and exciter rings and ABS sensors and that sort of thing. And you know this on rear discs, rear axles on certain units and whatever, you know, tin exciter rings that always bend when you take the discs off. Yeah, you haven't got them. Well, yeah, what I think it is that sometimes they just can't find the people or the bums on the seat, so they just employ anybody. And I'm not specifically talking about where I work, yeah, I'm just talking generally here. But the experience I've had, and I'm going to explain this, you might agree with me, you might not, is that productivity bonuses or sales bonuses make a hell of a difference to somebody working, yeah. So for instance, you have stores that get a bonus or a tiny percentage on the things that they supply to you over a period of a year, and then get a bonus at the end of the year. Then what they're going to do, they're going to be motivated enough to upsell you stuff. And what that means is, for instance, you're like changing discs, okay, so you get your pads, your discs, and like I say, you probably need a hub seal and maybe new bolts for your caliper, and then of course you maybe need a tin of spray lubricant for where the hub goes on, and maybe you want some brake cleaner as well to get the wax off the disc. Now, if a storeman comes up to you, and you know, you go to a storeman, he comes up to you and says, "All right, I got all this stuff for you. Do you want this, 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 and this as well?" He's upselling to you. He's thinking ahead, and he's also helping you with your job to become as good as possible. He's selling stuff, or more stuff is going through the stores, which means the company's making money, they get a percentage of it. You get your job done, and if you get it done proficiently, you get paid for being a good boy. So this is what I've noticed over a few years now, and I noticed this actually with DAF, is they're actually exceptionally good, or the place I was working at, should I say, they're exceptionally good at making sure you get enough, or just that little bit more, so you can get your job done. And that is worth its weight in gold, man. When you have stores people that don't know what they're doing, they don't know the systems, they don't know vehicle systems, you're then stuck, aren't you? You're stuck with not being able to get on, and you then have to explain and then go to pictures and show them and point them out. Yeah. And I do feel that sometimes some places need shake-ups. I would go there, have a look around, spend some time working, write a report, and then charge them lots of money. But I don't think I'll ever do that. But it's just something that I see this also in the workshop with the way some guys work. However, us as technicians, we stick together generally, don't we? We will jump in and help each other out because we're all in the same boat together. We're all men as well. Whereas stores tend to be a necessity that's bolted onto the side of the workshop, isn't it? And they're the ones that can cause grief, along with service managers and workshop controllers and people in the office that don't get the paperwork right and don't put jobs on the computers, and then you're sort of stuck because you've then got to wait until they've done that so you can fill out your paperwork and then clock on to the next job. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? I know some of you guys recognise this, don't you? Some of you guys might not. You're still maybe novices or haven't been in the right place, but you know what I'm talking about, some of you, don't you? So anyway, just as a little thing, if you've got a little story or an opinion, stick it down in the comments below here. It's for HGV guys or car guys or technicians generally, or anybody who happens to work in a place that recognises this in different